Clarity, peace, and joy to all of you. We are the spirits of the cards. We influence the shuffling of the cards by blending our energy and choosing the right ones for you at this moment. It is our best intention to give you guidance, not prediction. However, you are all your own best guides and navigators for making important life decisions. Never underestimate your own ability to make the right decision in any given situation. Let your emotions be your guide. If it feels good, you are on the right path. If it feels off, better pause and contemplate, then listen to your inner self. You are the creator of your own reality. Always remember who you really are. You came forth to this time-space reality from one source, from pure positive energy, which we all call love. A reminder to everyone that has long forgotten. Four of Swords. Not every hero won the battle, but it is still heroic. Treasure how your action will be remembered. After the time of chaos, anger and pain represented in the Three of Swords, the Four of Swords can signal that it is time to retreat. The Four of Swords is a moment of rest. Whether this is from a choice to withdraw, or whether it is from pure exhaustion, it is not clear. We are still weak from the wounds that were inflicted, and the battle weapons still hung above us as a very serious reminder of what was lost. In order to continue and re-emerge in your daily life, you must take the time now to take a breather. There is always the unclear fear that something more is bound to happen again, and it is advisable that you take all chances to rest. You need to gain strength and clarity in a quiet environment away from your current circumstances. It is time to reevaluate, organize, and understand your priorities. This helps to rejuvenate one's spirit and you come out stronger than before. The Four of Swords indicates that it is time to gather new strength and prepare to face a new challenge. You have faced crisis after crisis and it is exhausting you. You can face a new challenge only after getting away from everything and embracing a new atmosphere. Take the time to nurture yourself to re-enter life. Within us glimmers hope, and it lies quietly, waiting to reveal itself after we are healed again. Two of Swords. Where to go when both directions are risky and still speed is called for? You must decide although you can't be sure. When we see the Two of Swords in a reading, we are encountering a stalemate. Two equal and opposing forces are joined in battle, and there seems to be no end in sight. This wasn't what you had in mind when you chanced to walk down this path, and you find yourself caught in the middle. Without something or someone to take part to prevent or change a result, this may continue indefinitely. We find ourselves in a situation where we must make a choice. We can side with one part of the situation or we can side with the other. Neither seems particularly appealing, which makes the decision even more difficult. But unless we move past this stalemate, there can be no more progress. The Two of Swords is often related with balance and partnership. It signifies the need to keep your relationships balanced. Regardless if it is in business, friendship, or romantic relationship, you may find yourself struggling to maintain the current state of affairs and may find yourself caught in the middle. In regards to your work, you may be currently stuck and perhaps waiting on another party's decision. Remain patient and avoid pressuring people in making their decision abruptly. The Two of Swords meaning may represent a warning to have caution. Like the woman in the card, you may be choosing to keep the blindfold on, hoping the problem will just go away. You should avoid evading any issues that you are facing since it will not solve your problems. Nine of Pentacles. Prosperity in so many ways. Time to lean back and enjoy the wealth, primarily the pride of having reached it. This Nine of Pentacles card indicates that a seeker has reached a stage in their lives where they are confident, independent, and self-sufficient. Through hard work, this person is now ready to enjoy money, leisure, and material comfort. The difficulties that were faced in the earlier journey appear to be over. The Nine of Pentacles brings not only joy, but also the feeling of security and freedom that material wealth can bring. Looking back, the seeker can now celebrate the difficulties, the struggles, and the hard work that lined her path. Her previous challenges gave her the wider perspective she needs to understand the spiritual value of her success. Knowing how difficult it was to get here, she intends to enjoy every single day that is given to her. Sometimes this card indicates that the seeker has not yet reached completion in their journey. There is something that is missing here, the element of her community and relationships. The gifts are meant to be shared, and yet this woman is so far from home. The Nine of Pentacles can also be about a specific time period of this person's life. This time is about self-discipline and grace. Diplomacy and grace will lead to the desired outcome. Nine of Swords. Regret of choices made and anxiety of choices urgently needed to be made. There is no way out of responsibility. The Nine of Swords is often associated with fear and anxiety about all the things that worry you and keep you up at night. Sometimes this card can be associated with trauma, one which may be shameful for you to reveal with others about, and all the psychological responses that come from experiencing that trauma. When we are never released from the entrapment represented in the Eight of Swords, we escalate into the Nine of Swords, where we are troubled by nightmares. The Suit of Swords is one that is concerned with the mind, with logic, with intelligence, and with communication, but somehow the Nine of Swords was caught on the destructive end of the mind, the one which turns inward on itself, multiplies, and becomes worse. Questions are bothering you, and you find yourself reciting all the possibilities, all the things that can happen to you. You are haunted by what could be. There is a sense of repetition within this card that some event which has troubled you before and one which you managed to either hold back or run away from is coming back again. Sharing your grief does at least provide an outlet for your pain and may release you from carrying this burden alone. Is there anyone that you can feel comfortable speaking to? Four of Cups. Dissatisfaction. When you've had enough, what can pleasure you next? The question that brings on melancholia. The Four of Cups tend to appear when you are feeling discouraged and unmotivated. You may feel as if there is no solution or way forward in your situation. Life has become slow and nothing seems to make you happy or passionate. You are feeling uninterested regardless of what happens, whether the day is good or bad, none of it matters to you. The Four of Cups commands a self-evaluation of your attitude. so that you can pull yourself out of this boring routine. The solution is likely right in front of you. The hand is offering you a way out, but you release yourself out of your mental stubbornness and use new approach. You must search your motives, instincts, and thoughts so that you can find your passion again. The Four of Cups revolves around finding your true interests and working towards fulfilling them. Our lives are short and sometimes monotonous, but we must create meaning for ourselves. Our individual callings are not just there for us to find, but to decide and to imagine. Three of Cups, celebration in the cheerful company of dear friends, a time to remember. The meaning behind the Three of Cups represents a period of happiness. You will be able to forget the worries of your daily life and spend quality time with family and friends. To see the Three of Cups can indicate a happy reunion with a long-lost friend, relative, or loved one. It can also mean a celebration, whether it is your own or for someone who you love. The event can be a birthday, wedding, or any other happy occasion. In general, it is about spending quality time with people you cherish in your life. The three maidens represent your circle of friends who you turn to for love, compassion, and support when you need them the most. It can be old college buddies, colleagues at work, or people you have shared a special bond over the years. If you have had problems with your social life, this card can signal the end of those hardships. You will be able to resolve differences and learn how to deal with the problem. Strength. Strength of a kind that is superior because of its clever application. If it refers to another person, it is someone who knows how to apply the resources to where they accomplish the most. Such strength is power. You should make that person an ally and learn from the experience. But remember that there are also other ways entirely to solve problems than any kind of strength. If it is an event, it would be one where victory goes where it seems the least likely. Strength, as most things human, is in the mind. The problem at hand needs true strength, not just struggling with all your might. Find the smooth application of your abilities. If it refers to you, then you tend to utilize strength before considering other solutions. You have it, so you hurry to make use of it. That is really a weakness. It may be temporary upon meeting a problem that frustrates you to begin with, or it is the way you tend to react. In any case, consider when strength of any kind is appropriate and when it is not. Quite often it is not, even when it seems to be needed. Knight of Cups. Pride makes lousy armor, but we are all even more vulnerable without it. Make sure you do something to be proud of. The truth is that the Knight of Cups is the most feminine amongst all the Knight cards. It is important to note though that this doesn't even slightly suggest that he is any less of a worthy knight. It implies that he is in proper touch with his emotions and his intuition, and that he uses them for his own well-being and during his many romance and seduction quests. He is usually quite attractive and charming to others, regardless of their gender. When faced with an actual decision, the Knight of Cups is going to listen to his heart, regardless of whether this is actually a logical choice or not. He can also manifest as an event or a person in your life or a part of your own self. He appears as a messenger, and with him, he carries an invitation or an arrival of something or someone which is going to have a certain emotional benefit for you. As a knight, He is also charged with taking the gifts of his suit and bringing it outward into the world. He therefore can also represent the undertaking of some project with significant emotional or creative value for you. Nine of Cups. Gluttony inflates the mind as well as the body. So does complacency, the gluttony of the mind. After a long journey, the Nine of Cups symbolizes the finding of self-satisfaction. The emotional journey of the Cups is starting to come to a close after the uncomfortable ups and downs you face in the earlier numbers of this suit. You have struggled to find purpose and joy after loss. You have tasted the different things that life offers, and you have left comfort in order to find greater heights. Here, you have found them, and you are indulging yourself as you celebrate this new stage of your life. When we look at the Nine of Cups, it can initially seem like one of the most pleasant cards that may appear during a reading. This is also referred as the wish card, which means that the things that you desire for or your most perfect dream is bound to happen. The Nine of Cups is normally associated with extreme happiness and satisfaction. With regards to your work, there is a good change that something wonderful will happen in your workplace. It is time for you to push on your suspended project, or if you have something that you desire greatly, there is a possibility that you will finally achieve it. It also holds a positive meaning when it comes to love. Your romantic relationship with someone is destined to reach a new level. In case you are still single, this is the time to socialize with new people. In terms of finances, the Nine of Cups is also a positive messenger. It can mean that the financial state that you are hoping for will soon be achieved. In your health, the test that you have to undergo will lead to positive result. The good energy that you are receiving at the moment should be used to improve your health habits. Ten of Pentacles, intellectual stimulation, wisdom, knowledge, and the exchange of those with inspirational people. The Ten of Pentacles deals with permanence and satisfaction. The card shows that everything you have put your efforts into for a long time will pay off in the future. It suggests that everything will work out well in the end, for you have always kept the long-term picture in view, choosing to take no shortcuts. Your legacy is sure to stand for quite a long time to come. This is a relief, for the path to get here has been filled with setbacks and challenges, making this point of the journey even sweeter. In the card, the aged man is able to sit back and relax while watching the lives of his children and grandchildren. The satisfaction he derives from his achievement is connected in his children's happiness. The meaning of the Ten of Pentacles also relates to the happiness that you experience because you have planted many seeds of happiness and shared in the lives of others, particularly family members and relatives. It points to the importance of these people in your lives. The Ten of Pentacles symbolism is rooted in both financial success and stability. It shows prosperity and lack of financial struggle. It also asks you to make decisions that will not only have positive results in the present but also in the long term. The decisions that you make should produce positive results that last for generations to come, gradually benefiting to your family as well. Ace of Wands. Every ace is sort of an exclamation mark. Something important, even remarkable, will take place in the case of Wands regarding your material circumstances. It is neither good nor bad, but very significant, indeed affecting your relation to material matters. Wands symbolize creativity, and the Ace of Wands is the boldest among the cards in the suit. It is not the kind of creativity that you learn from school or as a hobby. It is bravely finding your own voice. It creates a place where you can develop your own vision. In other words, it is associated with willpower and creativity in the cosmic sense. When you draw the Ace of Wands, it is an indicator that you should just go for it. Take the chance and pursue an idea that you have in mind. Take the first steps to start the creative project. The Ace of Wands calls out to you to follow your instincts. If you think that the project that you've been dreaming of is a good idea, then just go ahead and do it. The Ace of Wands can also perhaps mean that you are waiting for a sign to start a project. To draw this card pushes you to act now, instead of worrying over research and more planning. Take small steps today, and then continue to grow your ideas over time. Action is what helps you grow and build momentum. Don't remain in the abstract. Another Ace of Wands meaning is the occurrence of an important discovery moment in your life. It is a time when you are motivated and inspired about a passionate project or idea. You are excited about the opportunities that are opening up for you in the near future. Page of Wands. Plenty of possibilities, so many that it is difficult to choose. Do something and you will prosper, but wait no longer. When we see the Page of Wands, we see a youth with enormous excitement and curiosity for the world. He knows what to do. He has the passion to succeed, but due to his inexperience and maybe a little fear of the unknown, his ideas remain non-realistic. He identifies new worlds to explore, new opportunities he could take advantage of quite easily, and he is even gifted with a big picture vision needed to succeed. Even with all of this, he still has a tendency to either remain in a deep sleep or get easily distracted with one idea after the other. If he doesn't learn to control this, it might be that he wastes the opportunities to advance himself. When you get the Page of Wands, it simply means something is within you, something that triggers you to make discoveries, allow yourself to enjoy in investments, or take the next advancement in life. You could be just about to take a move on a certain idea, but some conflicting messages keep coming to your mind and you get discouraged. This card matches your inner battles, which are preventing you from expressing your heroism to the world, to let the world know that you exist for a reason. If you are wise enough, this card is normally a trigger of courage. It should make you overcome the personal discouragements and move forward boldly to launch your ideas in the real world. Remove the fear, gather your resources and do something. Let the world know that you are there, and you have no jokes about moving forward in the path that you choose. Conquer every obstacle. Let your ideas shine and be known to the world, because this card indicates a level of success that can only be achieved when courage is used. The Tower, a spectacular ambition that ends with disaster. If it refers to another person, which is unlikely, it is someone capable of destroying things that seem as solid as mountains and hurrying to do so. It is a person who is victim of the destructive instinct. Although costly, it is necessary in the magnificent plan of things. What goes up must come down, and someone has to make sure of it. But of course, that person is a dangerous ally. If it is an event, and that is usually the case, it is the unfortunate end to an ambitious project, failure. Probably, you aimed too high or lifted a weight that was far too heavy. It couldn't last. Should you insist on your ambitious goal, you must be prepared to do it all over from the start, and there will be additional obstacles to overcome. If it refers to you, it means you have a mentality that is bound for disappointment and complete failure. You need to change. You want to be serious about things that demand patience and care. Most things do, at least the important ones. You might have reached the end of your patience after a long time of setbacks, but still, your urge for decisive and forceful action is a mistake. Even if it is difficult, you need to calm down before you do something without careful consideration. Two of Cups. Partners, companions, lovers. Whatever the bond, there is great pleasure in sharing with another. To see the Two of Cups is an indication of a partnership that is built on the union of forces, a strong connection, and a balanced and equal partnership. The exchange of cups suggests that each party's emotions are connected with the others, and each participant's feelings have heartfelt effects on the other. A strong pair is indicated here, the joy of two becoming one. When it comes to work, you may notice that the people around you will start to appreciate you more. There is a mutual respect here, meaning you will also be more comfortable in your workplace. If you are looking for new job opportunities, this card may be a good sign. In terms of love, the card represents commitment, a balanced relationship, and love. But this does not simply mean that you will no longer need to take care of your love to make it last. The card only signifies that true love and affection is present. In your finances, the Two of Cups is associated with fairness and balance. This means that you are currently financially capable and you have the right amount of money to deal with your obligations. In relation to your health, people who are currently facing some health issues need to look for a practitioner that they will be comfortable working with and whom they can trust. In spirituality, it is a call for you to be more adorable and loving towards the others. You are receiving positive energy from the universe and you need to share that energy. Seven of Swords. Betrayal right before the final battle. It may not lead to defeat, but victory is suddenly more distant. The Seven of Swords in general is said to be about betrayal and deception. When you get this card, it may suggest that you or someone else in your life is having difficulty getting away with something. There are instances when we are forced to be deceitful, hoping that we will not be discovered. When we are found out, we have to face the consequences, whether it is embarrassment, punishment, or worse. Sometimes this happens when there are instances when you had to make a quick decision and did something that was somewhat rude or out of character. Now there is a danger of the secret coming out. You may be tempted to disappear from somewhere, indicating a situation that is no longer working as expected. Instead of dealing with it, you choose to leave and hope that you will go unnoticed. Perhaps you were hoping that this issue would just resolve itself over time and you've neglected it, leaving it to only grow and get worse. The big question when looking at the Seven of Swords is whether escaping will solve this problem that you are facing. While you might be thinking that you have gotten away, you discover that the situation has cornered you and you are found out as you are trying to escape. There are instances when the Seven of Swords may indicate the willingness to go solo. You may have the urge to explore and discover some things on your own. This can be an effective approach if you want to declare your independence and bypass group agreement. The Seven of Swords symbolism may be encouraging you to go on this path. Sometimes innovation comes from a dishonest genius. Queen of Pentacles, thinking, unable to get out of it. It is all too serious. But such times are also needed for personal growth. The Queen of Pentacles represents both a down-to-earth woman who plays many roles to ensure that she keeps her family happy. She knows how and when to show love, keeping an orderly home, cooking comforting meals, and takes care of the children. But do not mistake her for being only a homebody. Alongside all these motherly qualities, she can plan business ventures and execute her plans successfully. It is through her naturally talented business sense that she is surrounded by such luxury. She is quiet and does not like revealing her financial accounts, fearing that it could bring more complication to her life, which she desires to keep rather simple. She may have a secret bank account that nobody knows about, for she may choose to be careful, vigilant, and self-sufficient. The Queen of Pentacles therefore represents a motherly figure who desires to help you move your way carefully and achieve your goals with the help of her common sense. She will not only show you love, but she will also show you the way forward whenever you seem to be stranded and confused. With her advice, she will ensure that you do not make dangerous financial decisions. She offers you precautions, principles, and support, all lessons that she has learned in her personal life. Because she is a self-made woman, she wants for you to be independent and wise, such that you are also able to raise others and make them responsible. Five of Pentacles, desolation or great loneliness. You have no idea how to get out of it because you are stuck in old lines of thought. Whenever the Five of Pentacles shows up in a reading, it suggests a time of hardship and insecurity. The meaning of this card can be deep loneliness, illness, poverty, or loss. Your status might take a turn for the worse in the near future. There is a chance that you will lose something significant, whether it is financial wealth or an important item. Deterioration of your health might be already ongoing or be very sudden. This may be feeling cursed. That bad luck is something that can't shake off easily. The Five of Pentacles symbolism can also be that of old debts, high credit card balances, or unpaid loans. It is a reminder that you should consider sorting out your finances. Mistakes you have made in the past might also haunt you. The Five of Pentacles is not a good sign when it comes to questions relating to love. It can be an indicator that the person you love is not feeling the same way. And just like the figures on the card, you might feel like you were left out in the cold. The High Priest, the dependency on approval from an elevated dignity. If it refers to another person, which is most often the case, it is someone very self-important indeed, whom it is of vital importance to treat with respect, whatever you might feel about it. You need that person's approval. At least, you can't afford offending him or her. Watch out, because the High Priest is a person that is much more important to the final outcome than you might expect. Definitely more than what seems reasonable. If it is an event, it is a moment of great symbolic significance, which can lead to triumph or to defeat. The importance of it must be respected, or things are unlikely to go your way. Still, your own influence is minimal. Things beyond your reach and ability are involved. There is not much more to do than hope for the best and make sure not to offend anyone. If it refers to you, then you are in a position that others can't ignore. It is not exactly one of power to decide or spring into action. It is just that you can't be opposed and your preferences can't be ignored. You don't have to be modest about this strong influence, but you should. Tomorrow, in another situation, things may be very different, and people remember. To be respected is far from the same as being liked or even admired. Page of Cups. The twist of it all, funny or sad, when looked at with open eyes, anything is amusing. Expect to be surprised. One of the most important meanings within the Page of Cups is that you should be open to new ideas, especially ones that stem from intuitive inspiration. The card seems to state that such inspiration should be embraced, despite it being something that you may not expect. It could lead you to adventure and open many doors. If it is a calling of a creative nature, for example, one to get into music or art, there is a special strong push for this card to go for it. When you are being faced by difficult situations and you have stopped chasing your dreams, the Page of Cups seems to say that you should tackle the issue from a totally different perspective. It symbolizes persistence, as this is the only way that you can make your dreams come true. Listen to your intuition, follow your calling, and believe everything is possible. For those that are afraid to reveal their emotions, the Page of Cups could mean that it is time to release and show those emotions. The creative you and the emotional you should both be expressed, no matter how insignificant they may seem. In most cases, some people cannot express themselves as they want to protect their ego. The Page of Cups indicates that it is alright to have a new beginning, to welcome the real you. The Star, time to pause and reflect, contemplate what is precious and what is not. If it refers to another person, it is someone who inspires reflection, making you think carefully where you are in life and where you really want to go. You should cherish it and let that person's attitude influence you, at least for a while. But don't make the mistake of thinking that he or she brings some kind of solution. If it is an event, it is a moment when things stop, so that you have time to reconsider which you should do. Goals are questioned, so are values previously confirmed. You should sit down and meditate until you are open to completely new perspectives. If it refers to you, then you are caught in a calmness that some would call a coma. You stop to reconsider just about everything. That is refreshing and sometimes absolutely necessary. But don't get stuck in it. You still have a life to live. It is a vacation, not a calling. Page of Swords. Bravery to the point of being careless, but there is so much more to win than to lose. Bright and alert, the Page of Swords is someone who never seems to run out of ideas. She is curious, always asking questions, and gifted with a sharp tongue and quick wit to match. Her natural ability for language also makes her an incredible communicator, and with her love of ideas, you may find her always engaged in some passionate debate. She seems to prosper on almost a kind of nervous energy, as if there was too much inside her to say, the wheels in her head always turning. As a news bearer, she may bring news, particularly gossip, legal matters, or agreements. Alternatively, you may find yourself required to use her energy. Be alert, keep your eyes open, and stay sharp and vigilant. This card may indicate that you are very eager to execute an idea that you have been having or a project that you cooked up just recently. You are quite passionate about it and you cannot wait to share the progress with others. Compared to your passionate heart, time seems to be standing still. It is time to be talkative. When a page of swords appears in a reading, it signifies communication and sharing of ideas. Whether it is someone else's ideas or yours, it is time to open up and talk about them as long as it is constructive. Temperance. Moderation in all is ultimate resolution. If it refers to another person, it is someone with the quality of temperance, the ability to patiently await the solution and never try to rush it. You may get impatient, even frustrated, but trust his or her tempo and try to slow down to it. If it is an event, which is mostly the case, it proposes extreme caution because the final outcome is not what first appears. If you have the patience to wait, your reward will be sweet and lasting. If you don't, then you are not likely to accomplish much at all. You might even make a bigger mess than what you faced in the beginning. The card can also simply imply that you have a time of inactivity ahead where nothing much happens. If it refers to you, it means you have stopped to act and learned patience for the thing at hand or for good. Time will tell. It can also mean that you find yourself unable to act, although you feel the need. Something holds you back. It may be irritating, but still it can be a good thing. Excessive speed should be avoided in most cases. King of Pentacles. Thinking ahead is the way to confirm what was gained in the past. The key to success is holding on to it. When we meet the King of Pentacles, we feel immediately his majestic and generous presence. He is a provider and a protector, for under his care is a flourishing and abundant kingdom where its citizens are prosperous and encouraged to grow. He is naturally responsible and reliable, and through the wisdom granted to him, he has grown all that he has acquired from practically nothing. To see him in the cards is to envision success, one that was won by sincere work. Generally, this card reminds us to stay in control of our energy and our resources in search of a larger goal. When it comes to work, the King of Pentacles may refer to a more established man who will play a significant role in your career. This man can be wise and reasonable, but he may also be careless when passing judgment. He can be your biggest supporter, but be prepared to receive unsolicited and harsh criticism. In love, this can indicate that the person that you've been waiting for can come along and will love you for who you are. With regards to finances, the King of Pentacles is one of the best cards to receive. This may mean that your financial situation is stable as a result of your wise investments and hard work. In case you are taking a gamble, be sure to initiate a planned action. Ace of Pentacles. This card is like an exclamation mark. An idea is forming, demanding contemplation. It can lead to a lot of good things. The aces are all indicative of new beginnings. When you draw any of them, it means that you are at a point in your life where a new cycle is beginning. You are about to start once again. Because the Suit of Pentacles is primarily concerned with all things material, not just financial but also with the sensual. This new cycle could manifest itself as a new career, the undertaking of a new venture, or the start of putting more care into your health. Wherever this beginning takes place, the Ace of Pentacles assures that what is to come will bring great abundance and opportunity. To see the Ace of Pentacles indicates a seed being planted in the material world in your feelings of security and stability. Like a seed, this opportunity must also be nurtured and sometimes invested in with energy, time, or funds. Watering this seed has the potential to be very rewarding, for anything that is grown on this energy is meant to be stable, secure, and give a good harvest. Prosperity is coming your way. One also has to make sure that they are psychologically prepared for the opportunities that are appearing. To be able to harvest the gifts of the Pentacles, we need to be filled with the calm that stability brings. This is a kind of spiritual prosperity, if you will. This kind of mindset can mean we become open to trying new things and not sticking to the old, washed-out routine. The Fool, blissful carelessness, the power of ignorance. If it refers to another person, which is often the case, it is a carefree creature who just can't be bothered with ambitions and elaborate plans. It may frustrate you, but you can also learn from it. Few things seem serious in the moment. Does the Fool seem happy? Are you? Depending on those two answers, make your choices. If it is an event, which is not that often the case, it means that nothing goes according to plan, and the only thing you can do about it is to have a good laugh. Some things are such that the more you try, the less you succeed. A situation can be sort of slippery. An opportunity slips out of your grip, and you can get lost on a path that seems ever so straightforward. But still, don't worry about the outcome. If it refers to you, it means you are the Fool, for now or for long, for good or for bad. Usually that seems bad, but turns out to be good. You are able to deal with things in a carefree, improvised manner. What bothers others seems to have no effect on you. Congratulations! But if you have plans, don't expect them to be completed. Nine of Wands. Recovering after having been overwhelmed by too many disadvantages. You struggled hard, but everything was against you. You want to try again. The Nine of Wands card is one that symbolizes great hope, even when one is faced by many problems that threaten to make them lose their balance. The Nine of Wands symbolizes one's life, which has undergone too many trials, but through their determination and will, they were able to overcome them. However, there are still more trials that the person may face. This can be one major trial or challenge that they are supposed to face for them to reach their goals or be successful in their journey. The card is a sign of hope and encouragement that you should face your trials with courage so that you may attain success. The Nine of Wands may also mean that a person has been betrayed and has thus become mistrustful towards others. This may be because of something that has happened a number of times and might on the first glance seem hopeless. But there is also hope and courage here, and the belief that this outlook is about to change. Someone or something may come into their life that will change their whole view of their past struggles. It encourages one to take that risky move because they may be surprised. Page of Pentacles. Time to dream and let the fantasy go. That gives strength and opens for new possibilities. Be optimistic. When we meet the Page of Pentacles, we see immediately that she is one that is ambitious and focused. She is protected, nourished, and provided for. She is deeply tied to the earth, nature, and all of its gifts. She cherishes the body, for it too is something which is a manifestation of her element. Her diligence, ambition, and loyalty drive her to quickly make plans for the future, for it is there where her focus lies. When you meet her, she may be the bearer of news connected to all earthly and material matters. When you hear her message, be inspired as she is. Lay down the foundations to follow your ambitions. Generally, the Page of Pentacles refers to the kind of energy that you need to complete all that is needed for your work. It may point to the determination, focus, and the ability to stick with a particular task no matter how boring it may seem. In terms of work, the Page of Pentacles may signify that there are a lot of tasks you are responsible for, but your time to complete them is much too limited. This is not the time to feel stressed and overwhelmed. Assistance will be there for you. You just have to ask for it. In relation to finances, the Page of Pentacles can refer to the reward for your hard work. For those who are investing their hard-earned money, this is not the perfect time for you to take the risk. Invest your money in a safe and traditional way. The careful and constant effort will pay you back. If you are currently experiencing a health issue, this problem may be the result of the continuous neglect. Let a professional make sure that this is not the case. Ace of Swords. This is an exclamation mark here for the principle of serious action. There is approaching need of it. Do something. As with all the aces, the Ace of Swords indicates that one is about to experience a moment of important discovery. With its sharp blade and representing the power of the intellect, this sword has the ability to cut through deception and find truth. In layman's terms, this card represents that moment in which one can see the world from a new point of view, as a place that is filled with nothing but new possibilities. It is therefore the best time to work on your goals, as all the aces give green lights and are signals of waiting opportunities and new beginnings. It might also be a good time for you to seek justice and the truth in all matters, since your conscience is clear and your thoughts are happening quickly. If you rise to the occasion, your sharpness and clarity in thought will be rewarded. When we look at the swords closely and see its double edge, we are also reminded that this sword may be either used for righteous deeds or to deal destruction. It all depends on the person and is a warning too that excessive power holds the danger to corrupt. If you stick with principles, the sword will serve you well. Six of Swords, a most expensive outcome of a big journey. Either bitter defeat or a victory won at too great a cost. Still, you will persevere. The meaning of the Six of Swords is that you are experiencing a transition of some kind, but one that is not happy and filled with regret. This transition will most likely be the result of decisions you made in the past, and now they are forcing you to leave something behind in order to move forward. Despite your sadness, you need to remember that moving on is the ideal option for your future. Life is filled with moments when you are going to be forced into letting go of things that you have become attached to. This will be challenging. The Six of Swords shows the sadness that you may be feeling, but you have to remember that the pain will not last. So you should look instead to the future for strength. In life, there will be times that the only way to fix a problem is to leave it and move to start again. You may feel like this is the coward's way out, but escape is the only approach that is left when you have tried all other methods. The important part is to secretly plan your new direction that will lead you to happiness. The Six of Swords in this case is to plan using your logic, clarity, and objectivity about where you are now, where you have been, and where you want to go. Intuition can help, but you need to think logically to ensure your success. The Moon, longing for the sake of longing and the hope of fulfillment. If it refers to another person, it is somebody who awakens your longing by seeming able to fulfill it. But that is not the likely outcome. Instead, your longing will probably be increased, which is not at all a bad thing, although frustrating at times. If it is an event, it is a moment when your longing is obvious to you and things happen that increase it. It can create a confusion of emotions in you, but you welcome it, though with some anxiety. At the very least, you are reminded of your emotional needs and the importance of trying to satisfy them. If it refers to you, it means that you are kind of a victim of longing. That can be temporary or something constant in you. You should be able to decide which one it is. There is little you can do about it. If you follow them, they grow. And if you refuse them, they still grow. It can be frustrating, but it does indeed make you feel alive. Others, though, may find you overly sentimental or obsessed. Queen of Swords, mighty power and the knowledge of how to use it. Victorious even without going to battle. It is an example of an older, wiser feminine intellect. She could be thought of as the most masculine of all the queens, and may come off as quite serious and emotionless. This card represents the importance of making judgment without relying on emotion alone. It encourages you to look at all the facts before making a decision. This queen does have compassion, which is why she has her hand reaching outwards in offering. But she wants to connect to people using an understanding that is intellectual. This also means that you will need to become independent with your judgments. You must rely on the unbiased intelligence, which has you researching alternative viewpoints and thinking carefully on your decision. Compassion and empathy in these cases can distract you from your tasks, so try to keep a strong objective view while avoiding getting emotions involved. This can also be about the way that we speak with others. This queen has the ability to tell people the way it is. This allows her to get her point across, so there is no confusion about what is being said. Above all, truth is important to her, so she feels no need to soften her comments, thoughts, or opinions. She also expects the same frankness from other people. So this means that you need to be clear with everything that is being said, even if it may hurt. Seven of Pentacles. Time for contemplation, which will lead to splendid ideas. Once they are ripe, these ideas will create prosperity. The meaning of the Seven of Pentacles relates to investment and effort. It refers to the end of financial or material hardship. If you have been putting in time and effort in your work, it signifies that your efforts are paying off, and they are going to pay off in the future as well. If you are looking to invest, the Seven of Pentacles suggests that you are ready to put in a lot of effort, time, and work into whatever you want to achieve. It reaffirms you of your long-term vision and helps to show that you are not restricted to seeing results in the short term only. It shows how much you value the investment because of the effort that you are willing to put in. The Seven of Pentacles is also related to fear of failure. You do not know whether you are going to reap fruit from your hard work. It could also signify frustration when there is a delay. You may have been putting a lot of effort into your projects, but it does not seem to bear any fruit right now. The good thing is that it means that you are learning from your failures and mistakes. It may initially not seem like it, but mistakes allow you to look into how to better invest your time to get the most out of your future ventures. Six of Pentacles. Generosity is easy when done with a surplus. Still, it is good if done with proper modesty. The Six of Pentacles means is that you are in a position where you have a good relationship with your income. Like the main figure in the card, the amount of money that you bring in and your expenses are well balanced, and you are fortunate enough not to have any stress. You are also grateful for all that you own and can happily share your wealth with others. As you can tell from the imagery in the card, the Six of Pentacles can be about charity. You can either be the man giving away money to the needy, or a beggar gratefully receiving what you need from a wealthy donor. If the card is showing that you are the giver, you have built up wealth, and you are now able to help others with financial assistance. You may have lived long enough in the darkness to be able to see the light. You are thinking about giving to charities or helping someone who could need your support and was in the same position you were before. The Six of Pentacles does not have to be about material gifts or money. It can also mean your time and presence. If the card is showing you are one of the beggars, you could be receiving someone else's charity. This could help you recover, so take the help. You will be able to repay the kindness in the future. You may also be able to find ways of becoming self-sufficient in the future. Despite this situation, you should be mindful that you should not become desperate or submissive during this time. Four of Pentacles. A self-obsessed mind caught by the brilliance of his own thinking. But thoughts can be shared without wasting them. The Four of Pentacles card is capable of generating both negative and positive perceptions. On one hand, the card signifies that you have successfully managed to accomplish much of your goals, and you have managed to attain a significant material wealth in the process. However, on the other hand, there is a significant chance that you will start valuing things only for their material worth. You have worked hard to get to the point where you are now, and it is absolutely natural for you to desire to make sure that you remain stable. But this also has a chance to turn you into an overly possessive or greedy person who wants to ensure that no one is capable of taking away your own wealth. The Four of Pentacles is also a card which shows that you are currently in a position in which you have solid investments and that you are financially stable. Because of your newfound wealth, you are being particularly conservative about money, and you are most definitely not inclined to gamble when it comes to any kind of financial matters. You are protective of what you have managed to accumulate throughout time, and you desire to steadily increase your overall net worth. Be aware that without risk, there is no reward. If you spend too much of your time attempting to conserve, you may become a prisoner to your own material possessions. Wealth is a kind of energy as well, and we create what we express. Two of Pentacles. Confusion. Your mind struggles with trying to make two seeming opposites combine. A contradiction that appears impossible to solve, but it needs to be. The Two of Pentacles is a card about balance. The coins are displayed in a manner that is unpredictable. Any small change in wind or weight can tip and send them falling. For those that may have more coins to go around, they can afford to be less careful. But at this moment, things may be tight. Wealth too is a kind of energy, and it is the kind whose goings in and goings out are easiest and most tangible to see. There is a possibility that you are trying hard to keep the two aspects of your life in a perfect and delicate balance. This could be your career, money, love, and health. The balancing act represented in the card suggests that there are two major factors that you are deeply concerned about. It is time for you to step back to have a better perspective of the situation. While you may initially think it will save you time, multitasking may just worsen the situation. Cut down on your tasks and concentrate on these two factors that are troubling you. You've done a good job keeping things stable, for you seem to be able to adjust well to all the changes that ask you to continually rebalance. When it comes to love, the Two of Pentacles is associated with your inability to provide the energy and time required to make your partner happy. Your partnership should be your main priority, but with all the madness in other areas of your life, you are finding it hard to devote your attention to your loved ones. With regards to finances, you should pay attention on the bottom line. You should have a clear picture on your financial state. Plan your finances accordingly, control your expenditures, and increase your stream of income to create a solid foundation for your future. In terms of health, this card is asking you to find a balance between your own well-being and your responsibilities. It is easy to make yourself the last priority when you have so many things happening around you. Ten of Swords. Complete defeat, probably because of betrayal. You may suffer, but you are not to blame. The Ten of Swords indicate a major disaster of some sort. It shows that a certain force of extreme magnitude has come to hit you in your life, one that you may have not foreseen. There is a sense of betrayal that is indicated here, for the character is stabbed in the back. This seems to be a reminder that despite how much we try, we cannot control everything. There are things that are beyond our ability to change. Here, this situation is unavoidable. The Tale of the Suit of Swords is a powerful figure of speech, one that ends in tragedy. The swords are a symbol of the intellect, of intelligence and logic, and yet we find the final climax of this suit a complete and total defeat of the spirit. We must realize that the swords are a weapon that can have huge potential for destruction or for good. The story as it unfolds from the Ace to the 10 is one where an untrained individual uses this weapon for faulty reasons, makes many mistakes, and then spends an entire lifetime attempting to run away from the power that he misused. This person believes the swords are external to him when they are part of him, and when they automatically return, he once again suffers. His pain is not the pain of his circumstances usually, but the pain of fear, of anxiety, of not being able to be a master of his surroundings. After the hopelessness of the Nine of Swords, what could have happened? Were you strongly affected by the pressure? Or did you take the final sword upon yourself and admit defeat? The Ten of Swords represents that situation where your mentality is self-pity. You feel like there is nothing you can do. Pause and remember that as with the Death card, the end of something means a new beginning. Let go of what you have lost and focus on the new path forward, because that is where your life is meant to go. A good example is a breakup with your partner. Though it could be intensely painful, it could also be the beginning of a new sense of independence.